The views and opinions expressed by the hosts do not state or reflect those of the company and its management. Any assumptions, views, and insinuations made by the hosts or guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. Listener discretion is advised.
Warning. This podcast contains spoilers.
Third World Cinema Club.
So anyway, our next category is Best Actor. So ito the domain of very young performers. Kasi last year had a lot of really good performances by young actors. And to recap, it's Luis Abuel for Edward, Oliver Aquino sa Gino Tomari, Gold Azeron sa Metamorphosis, Raymond Bagatsing in Quezon's Game, Royce Cabrera sa Fuckboys, Elijah Canlas for his lead role in Kalel 15, Gio Gahol sa Sila Sila, Joel Lamangan sa Ang Hupa, Jansen Magpusa for John Denver Trending, and finally Alden Richards for Hello, Love, Goodbye. All in all, very strong category. Dito medyo, I guess depending on which film you really liked noong 2019, it will influence then kung sino yung pipili mong best actor. Kasi those films that are really good noong 2019, dinala sila talaga nito mga lead performances na to. So, any thoughts on the choices dito sa category na to? Complaints, violent reactions. So, siguro ako, ayun, I'm happy na medyo napinili nila si Raymond Bagatsing for Quezon's Game. Although, hindi ko masyadong type yung pelikula. Pero, okay, sige, fine. As for the young actors, yun nga, we've talked with in this podcast anyway, we've talked with Jansen and Elijah for their roles. And in fairness, tsaka siguro yung mga Alden fans dyan, matutuwa sila sa Hello, Love, Goodbye. Pero, to be personally, actually in that film, siya yung mas gusto ko dun sa dalawang leads na feel ko dudumugin ako ng mga Catherine Bernardo.
Nako, delikado yan!
Dudumugin ako. Pero hindi, sa akin talaga, mas malakas yung dating sa akin ni Alden kaysa dun sa role ni Catherine. Yan. Pero that's just my opinion. How about you guys?
So, nag-aaway yung mga fans nila.
May fandom wars na. Oh my God.
Sige. Nag-aaway na sila sa Twitter. Kung sino ang nagdala kanino, yun yung awayan nila. Nababasa ko parang the other day. Nag-check ako ng nangyayaring tweeting wars sa kanila. Anyway, ako in general, very refreshing yung dami ng young actors or particularly ng younger actors, younger. And karamihan sa mga to, debut performances. So, or parang breakthrough lead roles. So, nakakatuwa. I guess we can say somehow the future is bright with these actors. Si Raymond Bagatsing, in-expect ko na yung nomination niya only because he was an Orion favorite, so to speak. I think back-to-back Best Actor winner siya sometime in the 90s.
Wow.
So comeback nomination niya din to. And then, Joel Lamangan is our current Best Supporting Actor winner last year for School Service din. So, ito nakakatuwa, pero siguro ako lang din to. Ang dami lang masyado. I guess, good kasi karamihan sa mga to first-time nominees, pero ang dami ng 10. Well, to say naman din, hindi lang siya sa Best Actor. Like, ang daming categories na ang daming nominations. And I guess they're all for like acknowledging the work. Pero, yun, siguro mas nakakatuwa siya para dun sa mananalo kasi ang dami niyang na-beat na performances, so to speak. Pero, ang dami lang minsan talaga. Like, I guess may ibang taon na may mga umabot pa ng 12, 13. So, siguro okay na din yung 10 sila this year.
Ayun nga. Actually, in cinematography, yung pinakamaraming nominations this year. As in 14 yung nominations nila.
14. Di ba ang dami?
Di ba?
So,
I think ang ginagawa kasi ng manunuri, they don't set a cap as to their number of nominees per category, I think we do the same with YCC na parang kung as long as majority vote yung nakuha ng isang potential nominee, let's say 10 yung voters tapos naka-6 yung votes na mag-yes for nomination, makakapasok. So I think medyo yun yung dahilan kung bakit dumadami yung nominations. Pero yun nga, feeling ko may pwedeng gawin para ma-limit. So let's say may first round tapos pag sumobra ng 10 or sumobra ng let's say 6 for example, pwede pa namang gawa ng second round. Naintindihan ko kung bakit ayaw i-limit ng urian. Feeling ko dahil they want to be generous, they want to recognize good work. Pero on the other hand, parang yun nga, sabi ko 'di ba na parang lahat na lang halos pag medyo competent yung ginawa mo, potentially mag-expect ka ng nomination kasi wala namang limit yung per category.
Oo nga. Rafi, ikaw, any thoughts about this lineup of Best Actor?
Personally, sobrang tuwang-tuwa ako na na-nominate yung most of the younger generation of actors like Luis Abuel for Edward, of course Elijah Candas for Kalel 15, and Jansen Magpusaw for John Denver Trending. And at the same time, in the same vein or in the same way na natuwa ako kay Meryl Soriano for her nomination, ganun din ako for Joel Lamangan. Again, na-question ko din kung bakit siya lead. Siguro kasi sapaw niya si Piolo Pascual doon. Charot! Pero ayun, I'm so happy that he got nominated. Personally, his performance in Ang Hupa is one of the best I've seen. And sayang kasi 2 lang yung screenings ng Ang Hupa eh.
So bad.
Ang tawag dito, opening film ng Cinemalaya tsaka 1 sa Activista. Pero ayun, sana more people would get to watch Ang Hupa, especially now na si Love, meron siyang pelikula sa Venice in the coming month. Tapos, ayun, I'm very happy with the list of the nominations. Siguro they could have trimmed it down. Siguro to 10 to 7. Same with the actors and actresses. Pero, wala naman po na. Lahat ng performances doon magaling. Na lang siya, personal taste. Kung sino yung mananalo.
Ako naman, 2 words, Carlo Aquino. Ayun. Wala siya dito eh. Either for Ulan or either for Isa Pa with Feelings. Very nice performance from him. Pero ayun, wala siya dito, unfortunately. Pero
may tatanong ako sa inyo.
Yeah. Go.
So, si Fuck Boys, di ba si Royce Cabrera lang yung na-nominate. Tingin nyo, bakit hindi nakapasok si Popoy De Santos together with him? I remember joint nomination sila. Tama ba ako?
Joint nomination ba sila? Sa YCC. Okay.
Oo, diba? Parang yung duo performance sila, no? So, dito, bakit si Royce lang yung nakapasok? Mukha ba ako nang gagawang issue? Hindi ganun yung intention ko.
Personally ako, mas supporting actor siguro si Kokoy. Although, admittedly, yun nga, dual performance sila. Pero yung pinaka-sentro ng pelikula, yung character ni Royce Cabrera. Para sa akin lang naman yan.
Okay.
Pero yun nga, sana na-nominate siya. Pero unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Hindi nagkasya sa time. Hindi nagkasya sa time.
Yeah, feeling ko rin, sa akin din, supporting si Kokoy. Sa YCC lang kasi wala namang distinction, 'di ba? Performance lang naman. So kaya sila parehong na-nominate. Yung issue ni Carlo Aquino, yun nga, feeling ko rin hindi na shortlist yung Isa Pa with Feelings, which is sad. Pero yung performance na sa Ulan, I think it's too short to be nominated for lead actor. So feeling ko kaya yun yung tingin ko bakit hindi siya na nominate.
Okay. Rafi, any thoughts sa mga snubs or
may isang performance sa actors last year na talagang feeling ko could have gotten a nomination din, pero possibly na kaya hindi siya na-nominate kasi hindi siya na-shortlist, it's particularly by Narcabico. For
Akin ng Corona.
Corona, yes.
Yeah.
Ang galing ni Narcabico doon. He was one of the best performers I've seen. At saka yung ginawa niya towards the end, gusto ko lang i-pinpoint yun kung may nakapanood man dito ng Akin ng Corona. Grabe talaga. Sobrang bilib ako sa kanya.
Yan. Okay naman.
Very charismatic performance yung ginawa niya sa Akin ng Corona, I must say.
Yes,
Agree.
definitely.
Joanne, ako naman pala. Sorry.
Jim, sige, go.
So regarding Best Actor, strong competition siya. Kasi talagang yung mga nasa Best Actor, magagaling lahat, mahusay lahat, gano'n. So for me, ang siguro preference ko na lang na manalo ay si Elijah Canlas, gano'n. Or si Jansen Magpusaw, ayun. And surprisingly, ang nagulat ako na nominee dyan ay si Oliver Aquino and Gino Tumari. Kasi ako I prefer Angela Cortez and Gino Tumari na mag-Best Actress. Ayun.
Yeah, agree ako sa Jim eh. Parang mas matingkad yung ginawa ni Angela Cortez na sa pelikulang yun. Kaysa kay Oliver Aquino. Although yun nga, I guess yung sa performance din lalo na yung sa climax, in more days when talagang climax eh, no? Climax.
Literally and figuratively climax.
And then I agree din kay Rafi, talagang ako rin yung bet ko rin na sana na-nominate ay si Narcabico kasi just like what Nicole said, charismatic yung performance ni Narcabico in Akin ng Corona.
Yeah.
Ayun. And sadly yun nga, hindi na-nominate si Carlo Aquino sa Isa Pa With Feelings and Ulan na magaling din siya in both films.
Ibang Aquino ang na-nominate. Charot!
Oo nga, yun nga lang.
OMG! Charot!
Yung sa Akin ng Corona, sa YCC actually, strong siya pre-deliberations. Tapos nung pinapag-usapan na yung merits, ang na-retain lang talaga yung performances ng dalawa, kay Nar at saka kay T. Palmos. Pero eventually, parang dahil nakulangan kami sa content, sa substance ng film. Parang gas-gas na, alam mo yun, parang ginawa na before, natanggal siya sa shortlist. Pero sayang kasi strong talaga yung performances ng dalawa.
Ayan. Alright. So, sino feel nyo, out of this lineup, this is a very hard question, personally. Pero out of this lineup, sino feel nyo mananalo?
Ako muna, pwede. Charot.
Sige, Rafi, ikaw.
Personal pick ko talaga all year round last year si Gio Gahol for Sila Silab. Because talagang yung Maleta School of Acting niya from in Sila talagang sobrang effective. Yung weight talagang damang-dama mo. Pero I would give the award to Jansen for two reasons. Number one, his performance in John Denver Trending, although also carried by the impeccable storyline, nadala niya yung charm, yung charisma, yung magic ng pelikula. Nadama mo na talagang ina-struggle siya. And number two, hindi din naman kasi masyadong i-person ni Jansen yung acting career. If you remember our recording before sa podcast, sabi niya na more on racket-racket lang talaga ng acting. So why not give it to him? He deserves that. Wala lang, personal.
Ako it's a toss-up between Jansen and Elijah Canlas for Kalel 15 eh. Kasi both of those performances talaga, as lead actors, tumatak talaga sa isipan ko. Pero I guess that's just my personal opinion. Pero I'm not sure about you guys. Nicole or Skilty, any predictions on who will win the Best Actor category?
I'm not confident with my prediction here, but I'll go for Elijah Canlas. Just because I think he's shown more craft, very nuanced, very calculated yung performance niya for each scenario. Halimbawa, iba yung pagka-portray niya sa character, pag iba, depende kung sinong kaharap niya sa scene. So very calculated. Kumpara kay Jansen, na okay din naman na manalo kasi very very raw yung performance. Pero parang medyo kita ko pa yung pagka-novice ni Jansen sa certain scene. So between the two of them, I'll go for Elijah.
Okay. Nicole, how about you? Predictions on Best Actor winners.
Yes. Ako tingin ko, it's one of the younger actors only because din yung veteran actors na ni-nominate nila ay mga previously awarded na. So, there's no need for them to award them. I guess, Johnson or Elijah lang din yung pinagpipilian ko. Pero, in giving the slight odds kay Elijah Canlas, probably magpa-factor in yung banner year niya last year. And then, with I think he starred in 3 of their Best Picture nominees this year, no? Sa
Yes,
Urian. So that has to factor in. And then I guess an additional advantage na lang na king out din with Game Boys right now. So dagdag buzz din yun sa kanya. Not that it matters, pero sobrang matunog na pangalan niya, and I won't be surprised if he wins the Urian. I think I'm leaning to an Elijah Canlas prediction.
Yan. Ikaw, Jim, who do you think will win dito sa lineup na to?
Tulad ng nabanggit ko kanina na preference ko, prediction na din, either Elijah Canlas or Jansen Magpusaw. And agree ako dun sa sinabi ni Kuya Stilty. Very nuanced yung performance or acting ni Elijah Canlas. And then, yun nga, makikita mo yung difference nung acting niya or yung style niya or approach niya dun sa acting pag iba yung kaharap niyang character, ganun. And then with Jansen Magpusaw, kahit kasi debut film niya, and alam natin na wala siyang background with acting kasi unlike Elijah Canlas, alam mong may background na in acting or may mga previous filmography or work siya. Pero makikita mo na dedicated siya dun sa binigay sa kanyang role. And with the help of with the help of his co-actors yun, like Meryl Soriano, kaya talagang naging effective yung pagganap ni Jansen Magpusaw.
Ayan. So, yan. Let's go to Best Actress. Yan. Just to recap, guys. Catherine Bernardo for Hello, Love, Goodbye. Alessandra De Rossi for Lucid. Max Eigenmann for Verdict. Angie Ferro for Lola Ignao. Jean Garcia for Watch Me Kill. Janine Gutierrez for Babae at Baril. Nadine Lustre for Ulan. Anita Linda for Circa. Bella Padilla for Mañanita. Sue Prado for Alma Ata and Ruby Ruiz for Iska. Yon. So, ako personally, masaya ako na na-recognize yung performance ni Alex De Rossi sa Lucid. Kasi Lucid, parang not a lot of people expressed, yung parang interest, kumbaga, in Lucid. Parang hindi siya masyadong pinag-usapan sa Cinema One. Pero ako talaga, I really like that film. As for, yun nga, yung kay Catherine naman, well, ayoko na baka awayin ako ng mga Catherine fans, huwag na lang. Pero, okay naman yung role niya doon. Si Nadine Lustre though, for Ulan, talagang, wow, parang, I really liked her performance sa Ulan. And okay yung direction sa kanya ni Irene Villamor, and it's a very different kind of film compared sa mga usual yung mga rom-coms that are being nominate sa kanila. Also, ang laki ng age range. Si Anita Linda na, well, namatay na, sumalangit na. Si Angie Ferro, yan, mga senior actresses natin, and then we have very young actresses. And also, for Sue Prado's performance in Alma Ata, not a lot of people watched Alma Ata. I think isa lang yata yung screening niya sa UPFI, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Doc, it was released in 2018 nga November 2018 in particular sa UP. Tapos, last year, kasi attend ako ng pelikultura sa UPLB. Ini-screen siya doon, although hindi ko siya napanood sa schedule problems. Pero yun lang yung mga naaalala kong times na nag-screen ng Alma.
So technically, this is a 2018-ish film na may 2019 release din, I think.
Yeah.
Ganun ba? Okay.
Yeah.
So yun, any thoughts about this lineup of nominees, guys?
Siguro ako maka-question ako dito. Feeling ko maka-question ako. Pero I really question Bella Padilla's nomination in Mañanita. Ako lang siguro kasi ewan ko, hindi ako masyadong, in all of Bella Padilla's performances, I'm very impressed with her craft and her ability as an actress. Pero for me, parang sobrang extremely subdued na siya to the point na parang hindi niya masyadong nabigyan ng weight yung character niya. Although to be fair, that the whole plot naman of Mañanita isn't as good, I guess.
Exciting, ganun.
Sorry.
Well, Mañanitas,
masyadong
for me, Mañanitas a very languid film eh. Mabagal talaga siya. So, I guess, maybe na-affect din yon. There's not a lot happening to the character. So, basically, nakikita mo doon kay Bella Padilla, she's just sitting around drinking. Personally, na-communicate naman niya yung parang may mabigat na nangyari dito sa character na to. Pero, I guess, compared din to the other actresses, I'm not sure kung nadala ng mabuti yon. If you know what I mean. I don't know.
Oo.
Pero yun.
Tsaka, there are 3 other performances that I think could have made the cut in the place of her
performance.
Placement.
Sino yan, Rafi?
Her nomination. Particularly, Isabel Sandoval.
For Lingua Franca? Okay.
Isabel Sandoval for Lingua Franca.
Tapos?
Isabel Sandoval's performance in Lingua Franca. Tapos, Sarah Geronimo's performance in Unforgettable, which I think hindi masyadong na-recognize because Viva Film siya. And probably, I don't know. And the, number 3, since na-mention kanina yung isa pa with feelings, I'd like to put in Maine Mendoza. Yeah. Kasi sobrang effective niya as Mara. And back then, I really doubted her with Imagine You and Me, tsaka Jack and Popoy. Pero in here talagang, you know, I was proven wrong. She was very effective. Yung chemistry niya, yung not the chemistry, but yung charisma niya all throughout. She can make an entire room full of people cry and smile. So ayun, sad na nasnub siya.
Yan. Agree ako sa'yo, si Maine Mendoza for Isa Pa With Feelings. I haven't seen Lingua Franca yet. Hopefully soon. And sino nga ba yung isa na sinabi mo, Rafi?
Sarah G.
Si Sarah G, yeah. Unforgettable. A film na parang, in fairness, tumagal siya sa sinihan ng konti, di ba? Pero, ayun nga. Yeah, I really grabe yung iyak niya doon. Yung parang tipong pag-distressed ka, parang ikaw din. Medyo nasistress ako nung pinapanood ko siyang nasistress kasi pati ako nasistress. Ganun.
Different kasi siya from the previous roles that she's portrayed eh. Diba, rom-com siya with JLC. And then, nung nag-veer away na siya from rom-com, there's Miss Granny, which she showed her a different side of her ability to perform. Pero with Unforgettable talaga, she was great.
Yun. And ako din, kung isasama mo na si Catherine Bernardo for Hello, Love, Goodbye, isama mo na rin si Liza Soberano for Alone Together.
Yes.
Yeah. Kasi ako personally, Alone Together, it's one of kahit na hindi ko siya nilagay sa top like 20 ko nung year na yun, it's one of my favorite films in 2019. Lalo na sa gusto niyang sabihin. Gaya ng sinabi ko doon sa isa kong, parang gumawa ko ng video essay about it. It's Hadaone's most political film. Well, for me only. Tsaka even though hindi ako masyadong benta doon sa performance ni Enrique Hill, ibang usapan yun. Haha! Dudumugin ako na Enrique Hill fans. I was really...
Gusto ko na yung mga dudumog sa'yo.
May hit list na, tas nandun yung mga pangalan ko. I was really impressed by Liza Soberano's performance. Parang hindi lang siya patwitams. Considering her previous roles na sobrang, your usual star cinema, cutesy, rom-coms. Ito talaga iba yung dating niya. So, hopefully she gets into more projects in the future kung magkasine pa, di ba? Ayun.
I really think
Go ahead, Skelty.
na, well, if we were in the Manunuri era na hindi pa sila hindi pa na nililimit yung nominees nila sa shortlist. Those actors mentioned would be nominated, Liza, Sarah, etc. Kasi ganun sa Urian dati kahit na mediocre films pero strong performances na nominate. Pero yun nga, too bad lang na feeling ko kasi sa dami ng pelikulang kailangan panoorin, feeling ko parang ginagawa ng Urian na parang pang-save ng time yung hindi na sila maghanap outside of their shortlist. Which is sad kasi yun nga, malakas si Liza. I really like her performance. And of course, ang hula ko dun sa lingua franca hindi nila napanood kasi if they'd seen it they would surely shortlist it and nominate it for many categories. So yun yung hula ko.
Ayan. Nicole, how about you?
Ako, okay, medyo madami akong sasabihin kasi everyone's favorite category naman din to ng mga fans. First, dun sa mga sinabing performances ni kanina, yes, I agree, Isabel Sandoval, and particularly Maine Mendoza. I'm so in love with that performance, and with the movie in general. So nalulungkot ako na hindi sila nakasama sa shortlist kasi I think they would have been should have been mentioned in multiple categories. And then siguro hindi pa lang din siya nababanggit, no? And her snub is probably yung pinaka-maingay, so to speak, this year was Julian Santos for Mindanao. I guess regardless what you think about the movie, so parang regardless what you think about the movie or its politics or Judy Ann is very dependent as an actress. And she was really one of the film's few bright spots. Kung sa inyo yung spots or spot. And then I guess ang parang pang-comfort lang is Orian Best Actress winner naman na si Juday for Sabel. So hindi na din naman nakakalungkot if na-snub siya. Pero I think under usual circumstances, this would have been an easy comeback nomination for her. And then as for the actual nominees, congratulations to Kathleen Bernardo. She finally made it after last year's brouhaha of her fans. She did something na none of her, or parang konti lang sa kanilang mga star cinema actresses did. Like sila Angel, sila Bea, unfortunately haven't been nominated yet for an Orion. So isa sa mga few star cinema leading ladies na who made it sa Manunuri. And then of course I would like to emphasize yung saya ko with Nadine Luce's nomination. If only not a validation of her winning performance last year for Never Not Love You. And then here she comes again with Ulan. And of course yung mga veteran actresses. So yan, Anita Linda, Angie Ferro. I think meron akong ayun, and si Ruby Ruiz kasi of course yung mga character actresses who finally get their break, nakakatawa when you see them go all the way to an Orion nomination. So I'm very happy for her. Nag-iisip ako kung may nakalimutan ako nominee kasi ang dami, pero I think yun na.
Agree ako doon. Lalo na si Ruby Ruiz, although Iska is not really, hindi naman Iska is not the best film, pero grabe yung performance niya doon. And I think this is Ruby Ruiz's first lead performance, di ba? As a lead actress, yeah. So previously mga supporting roles lang siya, or character acting roles. So yun, natuwa ako doon. And sige guys, so now that we've talked about Best Actress, ayan.
Diyan ako pa.
Ay, Jim pala, sorry. Sorry, ikaw naman.
Carla.
Ayan. Sige, Jim, what did you think of the selection or who was snubbed?
For me, it's a tricky and interesting category kasi gulat ka nandun si Catherine Bernardo in Hello Love Goodbye, ganon. And then napansin din yung mga seniors like Angie Ferro and Lola Igna. And posthumously si Anita Linda in Circa, ganon. So for me ang nasnub siguro kasi hindi masyadong napansin din ng tao last year. Ako super natuwa ako sa performance ni Charmaine Buencamino and Sunshine Family. Ganon.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Tapos si Glyza De Castro rin in My Letters to Happy. Ayun. So yun yung I think snub dahil siguro nga hindi napansin din ng tao yung film, ganon. And ako ang preference kong manalo, ito personal preference lang naman for personal lang na gusto na manalo, si Alessandra De Rossi in Lucy. Gusto ko siyang manalo. Kasi talagang, siguro because of the pandemic, makaka-relatable siya yung
Yes,
pinagdadaanan ni Alessandra De Rossi dun sa film.
Mas
Kaya siya
naging,
yung bet ko.
mas naging resonant yung Lucid ngayon at maghiwa-hiwalay tayong lahat no?
Mm-mm.
Di ba?
Agree.
Parang for me, parang dark horse siya.
Yes, nga, lalabas sa kanya.
Probably mananalo dito. Gosh, this is
Hard.
mahirap to ha. Mahirap na pilian to ha.
Tricky nga siya, tricky na.
Tricky
na,
to
na category. Kasi if given the chance na baka ang manalo pa si Catherine. Pero
who knows?
Diba?
Magre-rejoice ang mga Catherine fans sa buong Pilipinas.
Ganon. And pwede din si Nadine Lustre. If Nadine Lustre ay manalo, consecutive win yon. Makakahanay na siya kanila Nora and Vilma na consecutive win in Orian.
Diba? Wow.
Pero si Nadine ha. Personally, I agree. Gusto ko manalo si Alex kasi I think yung performance niya last year was I don't like using the words underrated and overrated very often kasi parang gamit na siya sa cinephile community. Pero Alex De Rossi's performance in Lucid is one of the most underrated performances last year. So, kung manalo man siya, I would not be unhappy. Talagang maglulupasay pa ako if ever.
I would be very happy.
Siguro diba? Gusto kong din siguro manalo. Even though I didn't really like the movie at all. Si Ruby Ruiz, kasi she's been in the industry for quite some time as a supporting role, and with the leading role that she's been given, despite the shortcomings and the problems involved in the film, talagang sobrang galing ng pinakita niya doon. Sila ni Angie Castrense. Pero feeling ko, because of the hype, possible din na manalo si Nadine Lustre. Kasi remember, last year, sinabihan siyang bayaran because, diba, daw,
wow!
Diba, Never Not Love You is a commercial film, a mainstream film, tapos bigla siyang nag-Grand Slam for Best Actress. So, ayun, parang it would further validate the fact that Nadine Lustre is one of the best actresses we have right now in her generation.
From Talk Back in Your Dead to Ulan. Charot lang. How about you, Skilty? Who do you think will win in this category? Best actress?
Yeah, historically kasi sobrang pangit ng prediction record ko with Urian kasi I don't know, I can't figure them out. But this year, I think my bet is someone who belongs in a film that Urian really loves this year, and I think it's Janine Gutierrez. I think Urian's love for Babae at Baril, nominated in many of the categories, will translate to a win for her. Although yun nga, di ba sa film medyo nawala siya for a certain time.
Yeah.
But I think strong enough naman yung performance niya to get the win. So she's my bet.
Yan. And finally, Nicole, how about you? Who do you think will win this category?
Ako, tingin ko, it's gonna be one of the two veteran actresses. So, kung hindi si Angie Ferro, baka si Anita Linda ang tingin kong mananalo. Ayokong sabihin sila din Lustre kasi baka ma-jinx ko siya. So, pagdadasal ko na lang na manalo siya. Pero ang prediction ko, feeling ko baka si Angie Ferro and or Anita Linda. Kasi every now and then flip-flop din si Urian kasi pag actress, either sobrang obvious choice or biglang sobrang left field choice. So, hindi ko alam kung saan sila pupunta this year. Pero, yun. May hunch ako na it's gonna be one of the veterans.
Yan. Okay. So, ito talaga, talagang this will either be a very big surprise or this will be just as expected.
This show is produced by Cutprint Podcast Network. Executive producer Patsy Ferrer. Head of Business Development KL Carpio. Creative Director Christine Alido. Podcast and social media manager Nia Escondo. Sound engineer Erica Santo Tomas. To advertise, email us at podcast@cutprintproductions.com.
Third World Cinema Club.